I felt overwhelmed. I mean, if you can imagine someone dumping a pile of bricks on you and the bricks were up to here, I felt like I cannot do this anymore. It's impossible to breastfeed and potty train and take care of 14 boys, besides my 4 that's 4 and under, without having my hands. My husband and I were house parents at a boarding school, and we had our 4 children within a 4-year span. 18 different personalities, 18 different schedules. Even if you have organization, even if you have help, everything in life does not go as planned. My mother has been my backbone. I call her my right hand. She actually prayed for the birth order of my children. I planned the first, I planned the second, didn't know it'd be twins, but well, my mom knew. But I hadn't planned the fourth. I was like, not this soon. So I was breastfeeding the baby, and the twins were potty training and needed to go potty right away. And the baby would not let go. And I had to scoop up one twin, run her to the potty, get her little pants down, sit her on the potty, go back and scoop up the other twin, get her to the potty. And literally, when I got them situated, I realized it was a vision before me, as if someone holds up a picture in front of you and takes it away. What I saw was me with a carrier that held the baby in the cradle position for breastfeeding. It had a cover that came up, and my hands were like this. That's all I saw, was me like this with this carrier on. And my aunt said, you know, I think God gave that to you for you to create. It took years. It took me from, again, January of '08 when I put pen to paper to January of '16 before I had something that was sellable. And if I can equate it to childbirth, that's probably the best way I can describe it. It takes pain to birth something beautiful into the earth realm.
1, 2, 3, 4.
This is the very first prototype. This is the start. You know, I had to start somewhere. What works, what doesn't work, where am I really going with this? Now this iteration was a different seamstress, and we still have the pins in here from originally. Oh my gosh. This other version we came up with, which is even bigger. Now you see, we were getting to the idea of you can bring baby up. Baby's legs would come through here, and so it's like a crotch dangler. We gotta make this work. Gotta make it work. But again, it's pretty long and cumbersome and looks like a little daybed on mom. Who's gonna buy this? This is frustrating. We like the idea that you can carry on either hip. So that had my mind rolling on how to make this carrier more than one thing. How do we get the baby from a reclined position to an upright sitting position? Baby can sit here and their legs are not dangling through 2 holes. And you see the vest back became an actual vest. 8 years is a really long time to keep pushing, but my mother always teased and said, you've always been a bulldog. You know, you're like that dog that when you get your teeth clamped into something, you're not letting go until you see it manifest. I was so frustrated with all these seamstresses not getting exactly what I wanted. I'm gonna try and use what I've learned and figure this thing out myself. I cut out this design that I had in my mind, and I literally taped it together and said, I think this is what I need. Then my mom, I was on the phone with her. She said, take that to one of your friends that has a baby, have her try it on, see if your dimensions are right. The lady said, I think that you're onto something, this is it. And I said, oh my gosh, okay, this is it. I thought I had 7 separate carriers. All 7 carriers were going to be complete in one carrier and would have 7 carry positions. God took me through all those little steps to get me from the breastfeeding sling position to also having the upright sitting position carrier, and put them all together into one product, which made it a first. Lower baby down into the carrier, and then I'm simply going to pull down to my D-rings to bring baby closer to breast for breastfeeding. This is the position I had in the vision when I first had the idea. What I found is that GoGoVie helps a lot of mothers in different ways. And I've had some mothers say, hey, I have limited mobility. I can't raise my arm past a certain point, so I can't clip that in the back. And I've had mothers who are in wheelchairs who have said, you know what, I have a hard time sitting when I've got buckles in my back. I hear that constantly. That's my trademark vest back. There's no buckles that go behind your neck or behind your waist. Baby. Out. They don't have to keep investing in new carriers as their baby grows from newborn up to 35 pounds. They can throw it in the wash like a pair of jeans. Dads say, hey, I love it for that reason. I like the black denim. I feel very confident wearing my baby in this carrier. I've got grandparents who love it. GoGoVie's vest back, it evenly distributes the baby's weight. Grandparents don't have to worry about having back pain. I remember once hearing a message from a minister, and he said, you know, can you stand to be blessed? When you're trying to build something, your character is tried, your strength is tried, your faith is tried, your relationships are tried. You have to build a good foundation so that when that structure is erected above ground, it can stand. I never really gave up, even when I felt that way sometimes, because as soon as I felt that way, I would remember the vision. The vision. You saw this. You know what has to be done because you saw it done. You know, it's not there yet, and businesses have steps and stages, which is important and it's not a bad thing. Just like with your children, there's good days, there's hugs and kisses and cuddles. There's also days where it's discipline, consequences, heartache, and that's part of the blessing, not just that they're grown, but the process is part of the blessing.
Okay, what's that?
No, I got more doubles. If a mom is trying to balance being an entrepreneur, I would tell you at all cost to get you a good grounded base. Refuel your spirit, refuel your mind, refuel your body. Don't get lost in the shuffle. And for me, that base is prayer. I don't know what your base is, but you've got to find a base. For me also, it was important to have a mentor, to have someone that you can go to on a personal or spiritual level, but also find somebody in business who can mentor you. So someone that you know, someone that you like to spend time with, and someone you trust.
It's come a long way.
Thank you.
Very good, very good.
And what I really encourage is not to give up. Don't give up. It's tempting to give up. When you're overwhelmed, it's tempting, but don't give up. You have something special.